G'day guys, how's it going? Today I would like to talk about how to keep mentally strong in 2026. Yes, 2026 we are in the sixth year of COVID. So since after COVID, we have a lot of things going on. People's health dropped dramatically, and environment is not getting any better, and then economy is doing much worse. So I would like to share my experience in how I manage my mental health in the last 6 years, and would like to talk about my personal circumstances and any good experience that I can share with you and potentially could improve other people's health. So I would like to start, a little bit of a history in the last 6 years. We've all gone through from 2020, and then some people lost their jobs, because of the COVID hit, and then a lot of protests regarding, the isolation policy and COVID vaccine, issues, so a lot of things going on in Western countries, in the last few years, especially around 2021, I think, 2022, the vaccine came out, and also the COVID itself, right, is Omicron, that sort of thing, yeah, it's going around, and it's been very scary, to be honest. So people's mental health really affected, right? And you had the isolation, the societal isolation, for individuals. Some people, they have to stay in their home for like a month or so, a few months, So I think really affect people's health. I think the whole process feel like it's like a war going around, in people's life. So, and then the economy will had inflation. Yeah, in 2022 we have, like, in the United States they had 9% of the annual inflation. I'm just holding up a book, sorry. I'll put it aside. And then in Australia they had 7% of the annual inflation in 2022, and then the interest rate got raised up, and then a lot of people have a mortgage stress and cost of living crisis, a lot of things going on. People's mental health, has a huge problem, and I personally, I was affected. I didn't know, because I was pretty young at the time, somewhere 30 years old around. I just started my own company, and I didn't know how to manage. I was chasing the news every day. I follow the news. I open up the Chinese WeChat, and also New Zealand Herald, One News, Three News in New Zealand. And I was following how many people died today. Every day follow this kind of news. And I was like, oh, this is so much going on in the world. And yeah, always keep updated, how many people, how many new cases, how many people died, and yeah, how many people in hospital, how many people in ICU. That sort of news, headline news, will follow every day, and I feel it's a bit overwhelming, for me. At the time, I didn't know, because everyone else is following, and it's on top of the newspaper, all the news, all the TV. So everything is going on, and I didn't know how to protect myself from all those news outlet, right? And I had no idea how to protect myself in terms of mental health. So I just let them to come in, right? That's to let them to engulf me, take all of me, So I think it had a bad effect on me. And later on, 2023, I feel pretty depressed. The whole thing, had a big toll on me. 2024, didn't get any better, and my health fell down very quickly. And I saw the Chinese herbal medicinist for like half a year. Every week we spent like $200 just for the herbal medicine for myself. So that was a lot of expenditure, and then for the whole family. My wife, my two children were all the herbal medicines, so every week we spend like $800 just for the herbs. So definitely the mental health was went on a downhill, dramatically. And 2023, 2024, I just like I can't handle it. So I would like to take some holiday and went to Australia, in spend some time in Gold Coast. I like the weather, I think I said to myself, if this economy dragging on like this, might as well just go to another place that has a better weather. So that's why we moved to Australia, in terms of the mental health, I want to make good, choice for myself. So I know it's good for me to stay in the warmer place. So that's what I did, to improve my mental health. The first thing first is, to expose yourself in the sun and a good climate. That's my number one choice, and I number one advice to any other people that listen to this podcast. So yeah, I would strongly recommend, if you feel depressed and feel no help, and I suggest, go to somewhere warmer, take a holiday and have a feel about it. Yeah, I know how it feels like, in a place that full of rain and wind and constant, sort of cloudy weather. Definitely take toll on people. I used to live in Porirua in New Zealand, and in wintertime, the rain could last for like 2 weeks and without any sign of the sun coming up. So, yeah, I know how that affects people's mindset. A lot of my friends, people around me, I met a lot of friends when I was in Wellington, and then after a few years, people left, and everyone just said, "Oh, the weather is unbearable." People moved to Auckland for better weather. But for me, I think Auckland. I stayed in Auckland myself, and still a lot of rain in winter and a lot of cloud. Overcast days, so many days, and still a lot of moisture in the air, and some people they have asthma and they're not, not taking very well. So even in Auckland, a lot of people move into eastern coast like Brisbane, Sydney for better climate. Perth is pretty good where I stay. So yeah, I moved here 2024, and after 2 years stay, in general, my mental health is better. Although I make less money than I did in New Zealand, but my mental health is better. I feel better. I feel clearer, and I had more purpose. Right? You feel more energy in your life. So yeah, definitely, mental health is so important, and for me, the easiest way to get around is get some sun. So it's not hard. You can always move from one place to the other, and there are some costs involved moving to another place. For example, you need to pack up and pack up everything and send to delivery. There might be thousands of dollars of moving house, and if you have expensive furnitures, and then you have to wrap up the furnitures, and then it costs even more. And then if you have a family and you consider kids education, and you need to consider jobs, buy plane, ticket, so these things are involved and they have to be considered. So, and I suggest people to do a bit of planning before you move, and to make things as smooth as possible. But yeah, being bold enough to make the move, I think is more important than the actual planning. So I think in this kind of choice, I would suggest people to be bold, to make a right choice, and you won't regret it. I would say if you struggle with mental health, always get some sun. Vitamin D, is I think is the best cure you know, for any depression, you know. So yeah. While staying in Perth, you know, I still found winter here, lack of sunshine, you know, not as good, you know. So a lot of people take time off to Bali or Vietnam, you know, for some sun exposure, you know, which is great, you know, it's very affordable, you know, buy a ticket for like $180 one way. So yeah, it's pretty affordable. So why not? You know, we can, you know, always enjoy the best of ourselves, right? You know, make yourself happy, you know, get onto the beach, swim in the ocean, you know. So yeah, living the life, you know, is so important. And I go to number two, I think, is feel happy, you know. Feel happy in life is so important. You know, I think, you know, people make choices in the world, and I think that most of the choices, they want to make themselves feel happy. Even they choose drinking alcohol, even they choose drinking, smoking cigarettes, marijuana, whatsoever, or taking drugs, they all try to make themselves feel happy, right? You know, they feel great, you know, at least for a short amount of time. So I think, you know, people make things to make choices and do things to make them feel happy. So that makes sense. I would suggest people to make choice to make them feel happy, but in a sensible way. I know when you make choices, for example, taking drugs or taking alcohol, you know, you feel good for now, but you feel very bad tomorrow, right? You know, so it's oftentimes you fly high and you drop down very quickly. So to feel happy in a constant high level, you need to work on yourself, right? Human mind is like, in a way, they have like a system that give you the dopamine. If you work hard towards your goal and you achieve that goal, the system gonna give you the bonus of dopamine. That means happiness, achievement, you know, a sense of security, or, you know, a sense of happiness. So set yourself some goals, and even that the goals are very achievable. You know, even your daily goals, monthly goals, yearly goals. You know, if you achieve your goal and make improvement, you know, so that will give you happiness. So always be mindful with what you're doing. You know, even your work, you know, it's very repetitive, you know, but try to find a little bit of a goal, and then you work hard towards it, you know, and you achieve it, and the system will give you the bonus, right? You feel happy, you feel great. And then when you feel great, you pretty much you forget about these addictions, you know, those alcohol, those cigarettes, marijuana, that sort of thing, and other hardcore drugs, you know. So I think if you feel good enough and you won't think about it, you know, so that's a goal, that's a goal that I want to work towards, and I encourage other people to do it, you know. Try to find meaningless in your life, you know, even in the morning, right? You have just set up a small goal, easily achievable, and you do it and you finish it, you feel good. That's very, very good, you know, you build up a system to encourage yourself. And in the afternoon, and you set yourself a small goal in terms of work. For example, your afternoon, you need to write a report, yeah, 2 pages, and you just let yourself know, this is my goal. I need to finish a report that's 2 pages, and if I feel finish this goal, and I will give myself some encouragement, and that means I achieved my goal. And when you do it, right, you might be finishing in like a couple of hours, and when you finish it, you feel, you tell yourself that I've already achieved my goal. Yeah. So this is very, very important, rather than you just nilly-willy do it. You know, you just have no goal, just, you know, do whatever. This is very, very different. You know exactly what to do. Even it is could be very repetitive, meaningless, and so yeah, if you do this, you let yourself know what you're gonna do, and when you do realize and you finish it, and you will receive the encouragement, this kind of a bonus system from your body, and that gives you a sense of achievement. You've done something. Yeah. Similarly, if you go through a tournament, you win a game, right? You're playing basketball, volleyball, whatever. When you like achieve your goal and win a championship, you feel very, very good about yourself. Yeah, that's because it's hard. It's hard to achieve. And you need to work very hard towards it. Not only taking shortcuts like you drinking alcohol. That's a shortcut, right? You feel good for like a short amount of time, and then later on you crash. You feel much worse. So that kind of system is different. That's natural. Yeah, I encourage people to use a natural way to encourage, to get a bonus system of yourself, and then you make yourself feel happy, and then that's a high level happy, and then it's constant. So and it's healthy. It's any other drugs and taking the shortcuts. They're not healthy, and you get addictive, dependent, and you have after effect. It's a withdrawal effect. A lot of things going on involved with those addictions. So it's very, very different. If you work in a way that is healthy and natural, that's a really good system. You want yourself to feel happy. Of course, there are many, many ways to achieve happiness. So yeah, setting up goals, and then surround yourself with positive people. Yeah, and then that's another thing. Avoid all those negative people. So yeah, surround yourself with positive people. Let those people encourage you. Have fun with each other. And then this is creates a fun environment for yourself to be in, and then you in this environment you survive, and you feel good about yourself, about the people around you, and you have laughters. Laughters are so precious. So enjoy all those moments with those positive people, and your life will be feel great yourself. So definitely I encourage people to stay away from negative people. People talking negative all the time. Probably drag you down. You feel bad about yourself and about them. So yeah, definitely it's a great idea to keep yourself positive and surround yourself with great people. And yeah, the other thing is I would encourage people to pick up some hobbies. Do something that's out of your norm. For example, pick up a new language. Pick up a new hobby. For example, maybe an instrument. Piano or guitar, or even dance. Something completely out of your norm, and then it's really very different. To train your brain in a way that you learn new things. Yeah, you never done it before. For example, you don't know how to make dance move, but now you are learning it. You learn very basic stuff, and then it's actually rewiring your brain, and you forget about your daily routines. For a short amount of time, and then that's in a healthy way. You move your body, and you are picking up new skills. Definitely is creating a brain empowerment, to yourself. So yeah, new hobbies, could be anything, anything that improve your brain or your body. That'll be very, very good, So yeah, other things, for example, new sports, football, basketball, table tennis, they're all really, really good, I can't stress enough, if you surround yourself with your team, and you play sports together, absolutely feel good, about yourself, in general, when you sweat, you definitely, feel good, in a positive way. So yeah, just make up the time and keep working on it. Uh, you'll be thankful for yourself in the future. So yeah, make the right choice about now. Avoiding unhealthy activities. For example, stay in the house watching Netflix. Watching YouTube. For like extended amount of time. And then yeah, later on you eat if you eat junk food, yeah, and then you just feel worse about yourself. So yeah, and the other thing is just spend time with families. Just spending time with your kids and your yeah, any family members. Talk to them. Spending time with them, and also your friends, spending more time outdoor in the nature, and yeah, just do things that's meaningful because life is very short. I encourage people, to spending time with quality time, of course, not just like doing chores, right? Yeah, spending quality time with your family members, that's very precious, so life could end anytime. So I would, cherish every moment with your loved ones, especially your if you have kids. And yeah, they're very, very precious. If they, when they are young, time is very short. We have two kids, so yeah, cherish every moment with your family and your friends, loved ones. Last one, I would say have a meaningful job. Do what you love, right? So because work, it takes a significant amount of time of your daily life. Most modern people will have like 8 hours a day and 5 days a week, so that's 40 hours a week, and those hours are the best hours of most people. Yeah, we have like Monday to Friday, most of the people, and then the morning hours, they're so precious. You got all the best of you. So you want to spend the time on what you love and create memories, create legend, in your work, and you will feel very, very good about yourself. Of course, you make improvement, you make contribution either to your organization or to yourself if you're self-employed. And yeah, so if you do what you love, you feel very good, and then the money will come along. In You don't need to chase up money. That's my point. You just go do what you love. Do you know what make you feel happy, and then yeah, money will follow along. I think. So even the things, if you are in a position that you don't like that much, and try to find a passion. Never settle. If you don't like that much, or if you don't feel 100% of your passion, don't give up. That's my point. You can't just everyone can do what they love, you know and then it's not very possible, to be honest. It's very hard. A lot of people like dancing, a lot of people like singing, right, playing guitar, but they can't make a living of it, so they have to find a job. We've seen this. A lot of our friends and people we know, we do the jobs just for surviving and make a living, right? But not necessarily what they actually love. People doing artists, uh, being artists, and they're very they love it, but they can't make a living. So which is pretty sad for the society, I would say. Yeah, the people they put people into modern slavery, and being artists are very, very hard these days. So yeah, a lot of people are driving like diggers, operating machineries and staying in front of computer making reports. So yeah, then you may ask me, how do I love my job? Yeah, it's a hard question, but I do recommend to devote yourself into work and try to find the enjoyment of the work that you do, and you will feel better about yourself, about the work. And if you don't like it, you can, a few ways, you try to find enjoyment after the work. Try to involve with your colleagues. Try to find satisfaction in the work. Try to be creative. And then, and if you really don't like it, you can always looking for another job, and then find a better position, a better pay job. So, or start your own company. Give it a go. So yeah, those things are very important, for me, especially find a satisfactory job, that makes you feel happy, you feel the achievement and you get the money paid. And so yeah, that will be working out very well, for your mental health. So yeah, that's my suggestions in terms of mental health, especially when you enter the middle age, how to handle these mental pressures in the modern society. And that's my take. If you enjoy my show, hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you next time. Cheers.